Hello, Flosstube. This is take number 2. I was doing a take before and I got interrupted, and so I thought I would just start over. Um, my name is Elizabeth Martinez, phantastitches, and this is Flosstube update number 51. And today is Saturday, March. What did I say? 9th, 2019. And it is Bandy Stitch's birthday weekend. I think her actual birthday is tomorrow, the 10th, but she's doing a birthday sale on the 8th, 9th, and 10th, yesterday, today, and tomorrow, and I'm participating in that. And we're here to talk about cross stitching, so let's get started. Like I said, she announced, I guess it was last Tuesday, the birthday salon. I think I talked about it last weekend as well. Um, but then also last Saturday, I guess, I was watching Gerald's channel, and he talked about his big project competition idea, and that is he was talking about stitching on a project. Excuse me. Stitching on a project that is at least 100 by 100 stitches, stitch count, 100 by 100 or larger. And even though I don't think I'm anywhere near finishing, I have a couple, I think all my projects, my larger projects, my wolf, my piano cat, and Daily Walk in the Woods, and Santa's House, all larger projects. They're not as large as the Henry that he's working on, the hay that he's working on. But I think they're all over 100 by 100 stitches, and they're at various levels of completion. Probably the closest to finishing is the Daily Walk in the Woods, but I haven't worked on that in a while. It's I just haven't gotten back to it. And the wolf is probably very close to, closer, I should say, closer to being finished, but it's very confetti heavy in places, and it's it's harder to work on that piece. And Piano Cat, I haven't made a whole lot of progress on. So, even though it's also probably in that 100 by 100 category, it's also very confetti heavy and very complicated to work on. It's not something I've worked on recently. Not as far along is Santa's House. But I did work on it some last week after I pulled it out to see if it was big enough, because I thought it probably was. And, excuse me, I'm getting my stuff where it won't fall down. So I pulled it out to look at it, and I hadn't, stitched on it in a while, and so I just did, to sort of be part of that competition, but then also because I had selected it as a piece for the Bendy Stitches sal. So it in good Flosstube fashion, it fits several categories. So it fits the Stitch 9 challenge, and the birthday sal, and the large project competition. So all during last week, I did quite a bit of stitching on Santa's House. So I'll share that one first, even though it's today's competition, birthday sal piece. So last week last time I worked on Santa's House, I had just done this snowman, and some of this snow down here, and some of this snow right here. And I had done the dividers on Santa's house across here and across the floor. And this the one I don't think I had done. Oh, maybe the floor up here. The all this sort of brown walls and floors dividers on the inside. And like I said, part of the snowman, the white in the snowman, I had not done much else. And there's a lot of just a lot of fiddly detail in that. So even though it's 100 by 100, I don't anticipate that I'll finish it by the whatever the deadline is. So I did work on some more of the, let me pull this down here, some more of the snow. I'm sort of a color completer, I guess, but rather than and it's probably going to not work well for the project like this, but I did work on, anyway, I did finish all the snow along the outside. And this is an elf's hat over here. So an elf goes right here, one of Santa's helpers. But this is all snow along the outside of the house down right here. All this snow. I didn't do this patch, of course, because I wanted to stay close to an area that I had already done the outside the floor here. So I think I want to work on this room next, or maybe finish the snowman. Blue in his nose is there, and so I think I don't know what I'm going to work on next. I may do this part of the stable. Excuse me, there's a cat climbing all my stuff. Excuse me, Snug, please stay over there. Thank you. Anyway. So I'm going to work on this today as part of the birthday sal. So I'm not quite sure what I'm going to work on. And this is one of my elephant needle minders that my sister made for me. Anyway, so there's that for today. That's Santa's house for today. And then yesterday, as part of the birthday sal, I worked on Eeyore and the bees. And before I had done, previously I had done a lot of Eeyore's body except for this, there's two shades of blue here. You can't really tell because they're not side by side so much, but this is just a lighter shade of this blue-gray color. So I had done all of this down here. The grass that he's sitting in, and this is inside of his body or whatever, and his tail, and this little bow, a part of his tail, the hair on his tail, and his bow, and his nose. But I had not done any of this other stuff here. So I worked on his hair and his eyes, and you can't tell too much, but there's white there on his eyes. And his ear, there's a darker color on the inside of his ear here, but so his face, you can see his face now. And I did one of the bees up here, and there's another bee that goes right here that I haven't done yet. But anyway, there's so I've done some more work on Eeyore, thanks to the birthday salve, which is a great motivator. This has sat for quite a while. I hadn't worked on it since probably since Mania. I think this is one of my Whip Mania pieces, and I had not worked on it, I think, since then, because I was doing 1,000 other things. But anyway, and then tomorrow, as part of the birthday sale, I'm working on a gift, something sort of bendy stitchy gifty, and I talked about this last time, and I haven't worked on it since last Saturday, since I did my video last week, but I shall work on this tomorrow, as part of the birthday sal. And so, I'll get some work done on some of my Stitch 9 projects. And the Santa's house thing is, toward Ginger Gerald's competition. Maybe. Anyway, so that's my stitching. But I also have some haul. This past week on Sunday, my younger sister had to go to Joann's and asked if I wanted to tag along, and I said yes, please. And so she had to buy. She's like a multi-crafter. She does knitting and all that stuff, and quilting and sewing and whatever, lots of things. But she needed to buy some yarn for something, and so I tagged along. And while I was there, I was just, I didn't go into any specific things in mind. But so I was looking at the cross stitch stuff, and they had a couple of tubes of this Charles Craft stuff, and this is labeled as Monaco even weave. Now it says Lugana, so I don't know. Is Lugana and Monaco a different thing? The same thing? I don't know. They had another tube labeled Lugana that was not labeled Monaco, so I don't know. But this is 28 count white. And it's 15 by 18, so I think I talked about the ships that I will hope to do this year, so this might be, I might use this as part of that. I'll probably try to dye it a little bit, dye it blue and see what happens. But anyway, I also, last week I had talked about my finishes that I worked on, excuse me, and when I was doing that little pillow finish, the violets, that little pillow finish, I watched one of Vanna's tutorials about finishing something like that, so I could, make sure I had my ideas straight. And of course, because she has her finishing business and because she has such a high volume, she has to talk about how she uses a rotary cutter, I can't say it, rotary cutter, and she has her little mat thing that she cuts on, and she has a clear plastic ruler that she uses, that she, and I thought, I wish I had, even though I don't really have a sewing machine, having a rotary cutter and the measuring thing would have been really nice, because I, was having to use a tape measure and a scissors, and it was kind of difficult. And the thing that made it a little bit easier was that the fabric I was using for my backing fabric had, stripes on it, and I was able to use those as a sort of a cutting guide, But anyway, so I bought on a smaller scale than what Vanna would have, is I bought a little mat, a little cutting mat, and I bought a little, this is a Quilt Sense Straight Cuts itself, but it's a small clear ruler, and I bought a small rotary cutter. So I think that'll help me a little bit in what little finishing I do. And then on Tuesday, my older sister had to go to the art supply store. There's an art supply place here called Jerry's, and she wanted to buy some art stuff. And so she said, well, the attic is up there, so, not too far from there, and do you want to go? And I said, yes, please. And so I I went again without any real specific plans. Not just, I thought, well, maybe I could get some fancy floss. Maybe I could get, whatever. I don't know. And I think they might have been, might have bought some, ordered some stuff at the, excuse me, sorry, at Memphis, but I didn't ask, and I didn't see, like, any signs about it or whatever. I don't know if they have a specific day when they have stuff from Memphis or whatever. I don't know. I didn't ask, and I know that they had a couple people there working on a bunch of orders and stuff. So maybe that was stuff from Memphis. I don't know. Anyway, but I just looked around, and one of the things that I did see was this 30 count linen from the Primitive Hair, and I went ahead and got it. I like this color. It's like a dark green, and I'm not, I don't have any specific plans for it, but I like the color, and this is the thing the problem I used to have with things like eyeshadow. There's certain colors that would catch my eye, certain like jewel colors, like darker, like purples and darker blues, and sort of off blue, like slate blue kind of colors, purples and things like that I liked to look at, but I didn't like them, if I, when I got them home and tried them on my face, whatever, they're like a little too dark, a little, too something, and I didn't like them on my face, but I like to look at them, and that's the problem, is that, the sort of colors that were attracted to my eye weren't necessarily practical, and I'm kind of the same way about like nail polish. I don't have anything on. I don't really wear nail polish on my hands so much now, but I used to. But the colors that I like are I like them in the bottle, but when I put them on, I'm like, it's a little too bold, a little too something for me. And the same thing with even with lipstick. I don't wear any of those things now, but I used to. I have at various times. I worn makeup once in a while, but as a musician, especially a wooden player, I really couldn't wear lipstick because it would come off of my reed and things like that. So anyway, but so I'm drawn to a color like this. I have a chart that calls for black fabric, and I had thought that I really don't want to do because I wanted to modify the design a little bit. It's a la-di-da design about called Cats, I think. It's called Kitty Kitty, but it has two cats on it, and so I was thinking about modifying the cats on there to look like my cats, because they're like gray striped cats on a black background, so it's black fabric. And I thought about modifying the two cats to look like my cats, like Snug and Puck. But Puck is a black and white, tuxedo cat. And I thought, well, how would would I outline him? But how would I do that to make it look like him? Because you can't do a black cat on a black background. You never see it. But if I do the design on this, then I could do a black cat on this green background. And so I don't know. That's an idea. So, but I like this color. For if I have anything that works on it or not, I like this color. So I bought it. And then I bought this little pattern. Let me take this out of the bag a little bit here. Sorry. By the Primitive Jewel. I saw a lot of things there that I liked. A lot of designer names that I recognize because now I watch Flosstube, and so I recognize them. But this is called Squirrel's Night Out. It's a little Halloween design. Um, so so it doesn't come with, it's not a kit with a fabric and everything, but so it has like a little piece of fabric and a bit of cording you can't see very well in this picture. But it comes with this little wooden tag and the cord that you mount the piece on. So it comes with um, that and this little piece of cord that you hang it on. So you make like kind of like a necklace, you know. But the picture is stitched. So it comes with a chart for this drawing. So it's very, very cute. And it was on sale. I got it like I think half off. It was, it was very inexpensive, which is good because that primitive hair fabric is kind of pricey. More than I intended to spend, but it was cute and I wanted it. The fabric. And I also bought this Stitcher's lotion. It's been mentioned a couple of times, but they had it there at the attic, and I went ahead and bought it. One of the things that is bad for me is Caroline had talked about this on her channel before, but one of the things that happens to me is that my hands get very dry, and I'll be stitching along, and and I have I'll have a hangnail or something in my thumb that catches the thread, and it's a pain in the butt sometimes. So and here I am picking my fingers. But so I bought that Stitcher lotion, which is good stuff. And then I talked about last time. I talked about how I had won a pattern from Arlene from the Kitchen Stitchers, but this little hedgehog, and she had offered it as a giveaway, and I won it. And it's a little bit finishing it is a little bit complicated. She sent me a little baggie of polyfill, which is very nice of her. But it has, if you look, excuse me, sorry. It comes with a little leaf thing that you can attach to the hedgehog, a little embellishment, and it comes with, I don't know if you can't tell, there's little black beads and little pins, and this little button thing that goes on this bottom to sit him up. Anyway, so I was looking at the finishing instructions, because you put his little eyes are Smyrna crosses, but then you put these little black beads on his body, and then the little pins, to make him like sprinkly, like a little hedgehog. But the instructions are a little bit, seem a little bit complicated to me just at first glance. But I'm gonna, once I get his stitching done, which is really quick, I need to read them more carefully to make sure that I understand a little bit more how to do it. But yeah, I look forward to doing that. I might, since it's a very small, simple stitch, I might take it with me to the retreat next month, because it's not something I would have to do a lot of work on. I don't know. I'm thinking about that, about taking that with me. But I think that's about it. It's a very short video, but so I still haven't done a whole lot with the tall ship idea, because I still have to, I want to dye the fabric for it, and I'm a little chicken about that, because it's a sort of complicated process with the dye. And what I'm thinking about, because both of my sisters have mentioned this sort of independently of each other, but of doing like a gradient dye, so the fabric is lighter on one end and goes to darker. Like I've seen it called ombre by other people, but like a light blue, lightest blue would be the sky, and it gets darker and darker and darker uh, uh, to to be the ocean, and then stitching on top of that. Um, I don't know. I haven't decided, because that's a good idea, but the designs themselves are darker on the bottom because of the sea and whatever. I think I'm going to look at the look at the patterns again to see um, if they're full coverage. I know that one of them isn't, um, but to what degree, and like is if the ocean is full coverage, then there's not much point in necessarily making the fabric represent the like look like the ocean or whatever, um, unless the dark part starts before the stitching dark part starts. If you understand what I'm saying, um, I don't know, but like doing like a modeled look might not necessarily work, or it might. I don't know. I haven't. I like I said, I haven't thought about it a whole lot um, since I came up with the idea, and I still haven't ordered the Ronnie Rowe chart, which I still want to order. Um, and I might wait till after the Arizona retreat before I do any of that. I haven't. I don't know yet. But I haven't pulled the trigger on that yet, because in a way I don't want to get too distracted. I want to work on some of my Stitch 9 pieces um, for the next over the next month, I think, maybe, maybe, um, and then decide what I want to take with me to Arizona. I want to take something that's a little on the simple side, in case I want to, because I think I'll probably be very distracted talking to people, looking at people, looking around at whatever is offered there, and I don't know. I don't know what to expect exactly, but I do know from what other people have talked about at other retreats about taking things that are easy to work on while you're talking to other people, or whatever, that don't require a whole lot of niggly concentration. So I'm going to look through. I know that like some of the projects that I have, the piano cat and the wolf, um, you know, are not going to the retreat because they're much too, you know, fiddly, and probably something like Santa's house. That's a lot of little bitty things that it's easy to mess up. So I would probably not take something like that either. Daily Walk in the Woods might work because it's just littler finishes. This little tree and that little tree. Um, Maybe that might work. Something like that. I might be overthinking it. I don't know. Um, but and I might take something like a hedgehog, something smaller. Maybe a couple of small projects or something like that. I don't know. I don't know what to expect exactly. Um, I did a giveaway last week that nobody really. I don't think anybody asked for it, so I'm not gonna do any more for a while. I don't really have a lot of subscribers, and so I don't have a lot of people clamoring for anything I have to offer. So I think I'm just not gonna do that for a while. So I think otherwise I think I'm done with everything I planned to talk about today. And I have some things to do, some running around to do with my family today. So um, that's going to happen in a little while. So I think that's it. Um, so hopefully I'll have some more progress next week, and I think that's it. I'll let you all go. So thanks again to my returning subscribers for watching, and welcome to any new people. I hope this was fun for you. um, and I'll see you all again next week. Bye.